As your moderator, let me again welcome you and thank you for joining us for this commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the historic stand in the schoolhouse door. But along with being a commemoration of the actual physical event, the stand in the schoolhouse door, this is also a celebration of all the good that has come from it, and this is also an expression of hope and faith in the future, that which is yet to come. During our discussion this evening, our distinguished presenters will reflect upon their own experiences and reflect upon the significance of the past, the present, and the future associated with this pivotal turning point in our shared history. We begin our discussion with a personal reflection from Ms. Earnestine Tucker, a longtime community advocate, a civil rights trailblazer with the movement for freedom in Birmingham, who went on to become the first minority healthcare provider at the University of Alabama Student Health Center. Ms. Earnestine Tucker.
Good evening. Wow, this is exciting. Thank you, Phillip. Thank you, Art. Thank you so much. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm emotional about this opportunity because it does have significance. And if you did not take the opportunity to review the video, I encourage you, before the evening is over, to flex your eyes. And you will see a young lady that you might recognize who was there firsthand, who hasn't stopped fighting for the cause. As we draw near the end, the 50th year celebration of the desegregation of the University of Alabama, let me remind you tonight that we have come a long way, but we still have a ways to go. As Art has said, a year is not long enough to tell the story of where we were, where we are, and where we need to be. There are those of us who are here tonight who are eyewitnesses to the painful yet necessary events that took place in Birmingham, Alabama. It was during that time that many referred to Birmingham as Birmingham. I was a teenager living in rural Jefferson County in a community called Simmon Hill, which sits today behind Lawson State Community College, attending Winona High School. I don't recall how I got involved in the marches, but I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. I never gave it a thought about the danger or the fear that I was placing myself or my family in. But I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I recruited other young blacks from the community, many who said, I want to go, while others wanted to go, but were forbidden by their parents because of the fear of losing their lives. I never gave it a thought. thought of how I would get downtown Birmingham, but somehow I always found bus fare. Even though the principal of the high school, who was fearful of losing his job, as well as the teachers for participating in the march, always made sure that I had 20 cents to ride the bus. And the only thing he expected was a report on the progress that was being made. Carpooling was not an option for us. And at the end of the day, we caught the bus. We paid our fare at the front of the bus and went to the back to take a seat, if there was one to be taken. Or you stood until the bus got to your stop. One day, I decided that I was not going to sit on that bus, get on that bus and sit and stand if there was a seat. Those of you who grew up and had to depend on public transportation may recall, if your section of the bus filled up and whites got on the bus driver will get up and politely move the sign back, and you had to give up your seats. Well, this particular day, there was a seat in the front, and there was an old gentleman sitting there, coveralls, white hair, staring at the floor. The seat was vacant. I got on the bus. I said, "Sir, may I have this seat?" And he looked at me, and he kept his hand there. I said, "Sir, may I have this seat?" He didn't move it. So guess what? I sat on his hand and rolled it all the way to the end of the bus stop. Bullconnor, gunshots, bloodshed, tear gas, water hose, German Shepherd dogs, jail, and threats upon threats did not stop the movement. The struggle started long before Birmingham, but because of the various age groups and people from all around the country having come to Birmingham, national attention became the norm. Now, many of you know that the movement did not just start in Birmingham, nor did it stop there. It made its way to other parts of the state. In June 1963, the resolute Governor George C. Wallace renewed his defiance court order on desegregation of the schools. He stated in his stand that it remains to be seen whether troops would be needed to enroll 2 black students in the University of Alabama system. National television, again, was his platform. He was determined, and it's already been stated, that they would not enroll on that day. Standing true to his promise, he did stand in the door, but only to be removed for the untimely enrollment of 3 African American students. And since that time, the challenge remains for this university to create an environment on the grounds of an institution of higher education for all students and employees to feel that they are indeed a part of the university campuses. In 1980, which was 17 years later, I was presented with the opportunity to join the medical team at the Russell Student Health Center as the first African-American professional healthcare provider as a nurse practitioner. During my 13-year tenure, I became adjunct faculty member in the College of Nursing, as well as the College of Community Health Sciences. I was also instrumental in helping to recruit the first African-American physician, Dr. Carmela Anderson, at the Russell Student Health Center. Was it strange to be the first? Not for me, because I had learned how to make my presence known in a very unique manner. I loved it, and I think most of the time they loved me too. I do recall one particular incident that dealt with the AKA sorority, which had the first house located on Sorority Row. I remember the Sunday morning, Doc, when the cross was burned on the front lawn. A race relation task force was formed by the then president. A full investigation was launched. The guilty parties were found and punished. No more cross burnings occurred that